Hi, and welcome to the first series of Working from Home with Duly Noted. My name is Cher, and I will be your host for this series. I'm going to start out this very first video by talking about what you need to consider before you start working from home or being self-employed. And please take note, when I talk about working from home, I'm talking about being self-employed. I'm not talking about working as a remote for a company or an agency. When you think about working from home, there are many questions you need to ask yourself. Some of them have to do with legal issues. Some of them have to do with income issues, time management, organization. There are a lot of things you really need to factor into your decision about whether or not you want to work from home. The biggest issue that so many people face and they don't come to understand is that once you make the decision to go independent and work from home for yourself, you no longer have the backing of a regular paycheck. We all know that depending on the type of job you have, unless you work on a commissions job, most of the time, unless you've missed a day of work or something drastic happened, at the end of your work week or your pay period, you're going to get a paycheck. And depending on the type of job you have, it will be, say you work a 40-hour week, you make so many dollars per hour. At the end of your pay period, you're going to have this amount of money in the bank, period. When you work for yourself from home, you don't have that. You are the sole responsible person for your income. You don't have a regular paycheck with tax withholdings and insurance withholdings. It all comes from you. Now, maybe you realize that and you're like, okay, but here's something to ask yourself. What happens if there's an emergency and you have to be away from your home or your job for a couple of days or several days or a week or a month? What if you get sick and you can't work? What if there's a major kerfuffle in your industry and something happens and you can't work? What if you have a rapid drop in clientele, or you have to rearrange your pricing structure? How will you adjust your income to fit those needs? That's something you really need to think about. Are you going to be able to generate enough income to give yourself a cushion so that if something happens and you're unable to work for a day or 2 days or a week or a month, you can still manage your business and meet your needs at the same time? Very important thing to think about. Another thing you want to think about is time. One of the common misconceptions about working from home or being your own boss is that, I'll have the time to do all the things I want to do. And so many people come to a very sudden and painful realization that that's just not necessarily true. Here's why. Because when you work from home and you are your own boss, unless you're fortunate enough to start out with a team of employees, and I don't know many solopreneurs who are, unless you're fortunate enough to have a team of employees already waiting and a group of clients or a group of products already in the marketplace, chances are you're not going to have a lot of help. And everything that it takes to run your business, and I'm talking about everything from back-end administration stuff to front-end sales to bookkeeping, everything relies solely on you. And even when you're really, really good at time management, it's very difficult to carve out time, personal time, when you run your own business. It's something that you have to grow into. Because when you first start out, there's so much that you have to do on a regular basis and keep at doing to get your name out there, to build a reputation in the industry or in the marketplace, to get your name in front of clients, to get a list built of possible clients, to figure out how to make more profit and have less overhead. Those things they take time. It takes a lot of time. And when you're the only one doing the work, you just don't have that much time. Another common misconception is, I can set my own hours and do what I want to do. Okay, yes, you can set your own hours and you can choose to work from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. or whatever you feel like doing. The thing is, the rest of the world doesn't work that way. And especially if you're in a services industry like I am, 99% of the time you're going to need to be up anywhere from 5 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, because you may have clients from all over the world or in different time zones, and they're going to want to be able to speak to you or get in touch with you during regular business hours. So, unless you're doing something like a drop ship business, or you've got products for sale on a website somewhere that can run 24/7 without your constant attention, thinking that you'll just be able to set your own hours, really, for the first year at least, is really just not even reality. Another thing you need to consider: where you work. Now, I'm not talking about, well, I'm going to be working from home. Duh. Where in your home are you going to work? Because you're going to need a setting that is conducive to productivity. You're going to need a setting that allows you the space for your equipment and your supplies. You're going to need a setting that allows you quiet time to concentrate, or to write, or to create whatever it is you create. You're going to need something that looks professional. So if you do video conferencing with your clients, you don't have kids running around in the background screaming their heads off, and you don't have a spouse moving in and out of the frame. And these are all things you need to think about. Just because you work from home and just because you're self-employed doesn't mean that you don't need to be professional in whatever you do. So before you start your business, or if you're just starting your business, take the time to think about these things. Sit down and make a list of the areas in your home that are possible workplaces, what the possible disruptions could be, and how can you get around those. Think about the type of clients that you want to have, or the type of customers you want to have. When are they awake? Where are they located? What are their most when do they mostly shop or look for your services? Is it a mom shopping for something for her kids in the evening while she's waiting on dinner to finish cooking, or is it a businesswoman who needs somebody to manage her social media network and she's looking for you at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning? You really need to consider those factors before you start, or at least in the very beginnings of your new venture. I don't want to discourage anybody from working from home. I think it is the most amazing platform for income generation, to give you independence, to help you have the freedom that you want to have. The thing is, and always remember, it all comes with a price, and you have to figure out for you what is the optimum price you're willing to pay. That being said, I'm going to issue some links in the description to this video, and I'm also going to put an article about this on my website. You'll find the link to that as well. Go read the article, check out the resources, check out the links, see what other people have to say about working from home and being self-employed, and not only the joy that they have from it, but the struggles they face, and let that help you factor into your decision. And I hope you will join me next week for another work from home series. I'll talk to you then. Bye bye.